Okay. I think this is the third stream I've done today. Streams in a jungle. Now listen, see this game? It's for chat. You can play. No, really. You can play. It's okay. Go for it. And this is the third stream because the first stream I just played some Valorant. But while the bots play, we did a second stream and we did artwork. The artwork was meant to show off one of the spells that we are working on. It's a very, very involved spell. It's the most complicated one. We did artwork for this. It was Dragon Strike. You cast this spell and in the distance across, a silhouette across the screen, and in the far background, this dragon flies across screen very slowly. Gets off screen. There's a pause. And then they come back in at game level and strafe the floor with fire, dragon fire. It's crazy. Love you, man. And we've done the silhouette of the dragon flying across the screen. So we've done this, and it's part of the spell now. Of course, there's no big dragon coming out yet, but I did a little more art off stream, and I think we can show that now. I will go here. This is going to be, frankly, part code and part showing off the artwork and part design, okay? So let me see if I can find the art that I did. I did more fire. Long story short, fire. Because dragon fire, right? The dragon fire is the dragon comes in at game level. It swoops in. It breathes fire. And from the center of the battlefield out toward the opponent's tree, it stops at the tree. There's just this column of fire. It's going to be massive. Of course, that's not in yet. I don't have the dragon, don't have the column of fire. But what I do have is the fire that's left on the floor, you see. What I want, what we need, is fire. On the floor, I needed a loop of fire. Okay, so this does loop. And it dies down. We needed that too. And I'll show you why in a minute, but I needed an end to that fire because you see how this goes all the way to the edge of the sprite? This can repeat. And this would be like matching up with one side of it, and like also looping on the edge of that sprite, you see. I'll show you why in a minute. And then it also dies down. Okay. Here's what I mean. So, fire, whatever, fire. Okay, this is similar to the fire we've done in the past, except it's not a small part of fire. It's just continuous fire all along the floor. It's crazy. It's meant to be crazy. This is the most over-the-top of the over-the-top spells that the wizard can cast. It's dragon fire, of course, right? So while the fire's raging, everyone takes ridiculous damage and die, of course. It's going to be crazy. Here's how this is going to be put together. I kind of had a loose idea of it, but then I came in, so I just made the frames, but then I came in here and figured out how I wanted to do it. So that's the art part. Here's the technical art part. What I've got is a special script here on a game object, right? And the game object has two child game objects on it. One is a cap, right? One of those ends. The other one is the other end, right? This is set to flip around, okay? And then there's a middle. And you don't see the middle, you know why? Because it's scaled to 0. The way this works is there is a width. And while I can crank this up or down, two things happen. First of all, these ends move apart, like this. And second of all, this grows, you see. But it doesn't just scale like this. What happens is this scales, and at the same time, this is complicated, but just stick with me now. At the same time, this material scales. This tiling thing will scale it up and down. So if it's really thin, it can be thin, right? It's basically going to maintain the right size no matter what. That's the point. Okay. So long story short, this was a little complicated. But it's technical art. What do you want to say? It's a little bit of code and a little bit of art, right? It has to work with the art, right? So that's the object. I'm going to take a look at the script for just a second because I'd like to show it off. This is Dragon Fire Manager. And to do this, I want to kind of disable something. Yeah, I'd like to disable this, if I could. Okay. So I'm just disabling some code that I can show you in a second, but I wanted to be able to play it. Hi, what's up? I broke something when I did that. I broke something when I did that. What did I break? What? Okay. If I take this out? Oh, because it says else if. Okay, no problem. Got it. I gotcha. Okay, so we good? I do wanted to take out some of the code because I went a little further than what I'm about to show you. Let me show you. If I run the game and, nothing's happening, it's not supposed to do anything right now. But, let me go ahead and throw this object in the scene, Dragonfire. Boom. So here it is. Right? Cool, huh? So there's the two ends, and they're animating together, right? They're meeting together, and it's fire. Cool. Okay. It goes for a little while and dies out. That's what it's made to do. Cool, right? Okay. This gets a little more complicated. Check. Here's the fire. Okay, and it does take a frame for it to figure out that it needs to turn around. Check this out. I'm going to make it wider. And I can make it as wide as I want. Cool, huh? So the two ends stay on the end. The middle is scaling up appropriately and keeping the same relative size of the fire. It's not squished fire, So, yeah. So no matter how big I make it, right, it looks like the fire's going all the way across, yeah? So why did I do this? Why do I care if it can be moved like this? What's the big deal about that? Well, now, what if I need the dragon to lay down a swath of fire, right? Just lay it down from like here all the way to there, right? Well, it needs to start here, and the cap can be here. The other cap is going to need to travel this way, and the whole thing's going to need to grow wide, right? So it's kind of like this, where it gets wider, but it also needs to move, right? Let's manually do this, because I need to show you what it is that this is going to that this is supposed to do. Dragon comes in, let's say it's coming because it's player 2 who did it, and it's going to go and then lay it down, right? So here's the dragon fire. Just lay it down at 0 for a second. Okay. Oops. There we go. And it starts off. And so it's here, and then it's going to be laying down this way, right? Well, that means it's going to have to travel like this way, and it's going to have to grow in size at the same rate. So if this is like negative, this has to be, or actually 3. Well, so that it stays the same size. 2, this is going to be 4. Well, or maybe it's a little bit more than that. Anyway, the point is, it needs to travel down here at the same rate that it's growing, so that it can stay big, right? Okay, this is going to be. So, in the end, yeah, it needs to cover half the battlefield like this, right? And look like that. Crazy, right? So it'll be on top of barricades, it'll be on top of characters, it'll just be causing damage all over the place. It's meant to be the most over-the-top thing, right? And then it dies down. So, let me re-implement that code. Boop. Boop. Now let me just lay this down, right? Playing the game, and a dragon comes in, and boom. So I'm going to time it so it's spawned at the right time. I'm going to time it so the length of it and the growing of it is at the right time, but this script now handles it. And if I want to do it on for player 1, or I want to do it for player 2, whatever. Boom. So yeah, this is looking like pretty crazy fire. And I think it's going to be pretty successful. So if we have this part, and if we have the dragon part, let's do this. Give me a wizard. The wizard here. Okay. And I'll just ask player 1 to cast the spell now. We already have this part. So here comes the dragon from far away, flies across the screen, and it's heading this way because the wizard is player 1. It's going to disappear off screen and then come back here on this side and strafe. So this is where I would say right, so it comes in and just lays this fire down on its way out. And there's, death and mayhem and all kinds of stuff. Yes, yes, yes. So I need to cause a little bit of damage on the sides, a lot of damage in the middle. Yep. Damage to buildings. Maybe not the tower, but definitely the barricade. Yeah. And that can be part of the spell. I can implement that as part of the spell right now. Let's do that because this is called VFX Dragonfire. And here's the spell manager. So initially this small dragon, the silhouette, cruises across the screen. And then we're waiting, basically. So the update for this spell can handle when something needs to happen. The full dragon is going to happen. Dragon spawn. Fire breath, I guess. But we also need to spawn, I'm going to call dragon fire, the floor fire, basically. And that is dead simple, you see. I'm going to make a reference to this. I'm going to have the floor fire, the name of this variable, and I'm going to say, yeah, please go find this. Go instantiate. That's the fancy word for spawn. And I would like it to go find in a folder called resources this particular game object. It is called VFX Dragonfire. Okay. I'm pretty sure it is configured. We'll check this, of course. But I'm pretty sure it's configured to be in the right place on screen, like on the floor and in the middle. That's exactly where it needs to be. We are going to lay down fire exactly from the center of the battlefield over to the enemy side. So, dragon fire. If we are player 1, we're ready to go. If we're player 2, okay, PM, player 2, if we are player 2, then we want to say, hey, floor fire, you know that component you have on you called Dragonfire Manager? Yeah, that thing. I want you to make it for the strafe P1 side because you are player 2, you are strafing player 1 side, yeah? Otherwise it's all set up. So, okay. Cool. And, I know this is not exactly timed right, but we'll just review and adjust timing, yeah? When the dragon is actually here, of course, the dragon's going to fly in, breathe fire, and then we want to lay this floor fire down, yeah? But for now, bro. Yeah. This means, believe it or not, I should be able to say, give me a wizard. Let's put the wizard on player 1 side. And let's start this up. And I'm going to pause and tell player 1, you are spawning, or you are casting this spell called Dragon Strike. But now, it's got a longer thing going on. First of all, we see the silhouette of the dragon flying across. I realize against black, but go with it. Anyway, after it goes off screen, there's a little bit of a delay, and then they fly in. And when they fly in, they strafe the other side with fire. 3, 2, go. Go. You're not going? There it is. Cool. So that's now set up. Consider I still need to make artwork and animation for a dragon in flight, and I still need art and animation for the column of fire, the dragon breath. Okay, so that's not in yet, right? But you get where this is going. If I put that first part in, this last part in, okay, right? I guess what I should do as well, I mean, we could do it again, but making sure that this causes damage to characters and buildings, right? It's not going to be that hard. We in fact have this set up with the other fire asset already, so no big deal. Yeah. Wizard casts this spell and walks off screen. So they're basically off screen by the time this dragon flies across. And that's just a fair warning that you're about to get taken out. And then it flies in, lays down the fire. That's good. I mean, the timing is going to be adjusted. Obviously, I need a dragon and dragon fire breath and stuff, but heck yeah. I could go a little further because, of course, I can see the repeating texture, and I mean, I would want to make it cool, but whatever. For now, it's good. I'm going to make sure this causes damage. On update, we can go check to see if we're going to do some damage. You probably don't need to do this every frame. Probably don't. But let's go ahead and make a separate function just to check damage. Well, fire damage, right? And we will do that as long as yeah. As long as we're here, yeah? Oop, hello? Okay, I bet that just added a namespace I don't want. No, okay. So cool, check fire damage. We want to steal code we've already done for fire, because fire does damage to characters and to buildings. And in fact, yeah, all of this. Except this. Wait. All of that, I think, maybe. Let's see what we got. Damage. Yeah, look at all this. If the damage timer. Okay, that makes sense, actually. Okay. And you set that right off the bat. Yeah. Cool. Oh, I see. Oh, that's smart, actually. Branchless programming rules dictate this should probably not happen. Unless... Me too, right? Let's do it this way. Oop. And... Oop. Okay. Yeah. We can clean it up later, but this is essentially it. Do damage to characters and buildings. Sounds about right. That's what I mean. Like, why reinvent the wheel? I've already got this. What I will adjust, and what's already adjusted, is the amount of length of time that this fire is alive. I can also adjust damage, for example. So this says do damage buildings, but if it's a don't damage the flag or the tree, whatever. Do damage towers if it is above. It's not actually. This is all on the ground. The dragon breath, actual column of fire, is going to do separate damage. This is just residual on the ground fire doing damage later. It's over the top. So it's probably unnecessary, but it's also safe. So just keep that there. Cool. Thank you, fire. Did your job. This means that I can tune these variables. The amount of time that it does damage is going to vary between these two. It's usually in the middle. The distance. Now that's not actually relevant. Yeah, I have to figure this out. The distance is going to be used differently because of the structure of this fire on the floor. The amount of damage, oh yeah, we're doing a lot of damage. In fact, I'm kind of going over the top on this. We need to be able to do like 10, absolutely. In fact, I think it's probably more like 5 to 10. It's going to kill everyone. That's kind of the point. It's supposed to. Maybe the column of fire does that. Do this. So, here's the deal. Distance, yeah, no, because this object is actually the top level object managing both caps and the middle, right? If it's anywhere between the caps, right, it needs to just take damage. So if it's not dead and it is within the damage distance, that's what this says. Well, this is the calculation I'm going to adjust because dist isn't quite right. It's not the distance to the center of this game object. It's actually distance to either cap. And if it's anywhere between the caps, then you're absolutely taking damage. There's no question. So let's say this. So this is not what it's going to be. Distance is going to be, let's start with 0. And, well, it is 0. Okay. Here, let's do this. It is 0. If the character that I'm currently looking at is sitting anywhere between the caps, the cap on the left is this, and the cap on the right. The middle is this thing that scales up, yeah? So what we're asking is it not in between the two? How do I say that? Is this position less than the one on the left? Or is this character more than the one on the right? Okay, that should do it. I can type. Okay. This, because this distance is 0, you're absolutely going to take damage. But this is going to check to see if you might be outside of damage range. In that case, distance would be the lesser of two numbers. One number is effectively the distance between the left side, and the other number is the distance between this character and the right side. The lesser of the two numbers is what I want to count as actual distance. If you're farther away from like the left cap, then I don't care about it. I care about how far are you from the right cap. Well, I can ask it to give me the minimum, returns the smallest of two values. In this case, these values are complex, but whatevs. One is, actually I don't need those parentheses, the absolute value of, now stay with me, whether this resulting number is negative or positive, absolute value makes it positive. I'm going to subtract one from the other, the cap position from the character position. And if it's negative, it doesn't matter. It'll still give me a distance. Positive, not a negative. So I'll effectively just copy this and change that symbol. Boop. Okay, so if this turns out to be a negative number, it's going to be positive, and it tells me the distance for sure. Likewise, do the same thing with the right side. So this says, basically, return the lesser of these two distances from the left cap or the right cap. And that is the distance. So you might be closer to the right cap. And if that's true, then I know the distance between you and the right cap. And now, that distance is less than the damage distance. Boom, take damage. That should work. I mean, we're going to test this, but these are long. This is a long condition, and it's one long result. But it's okay. This is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. The difference is, instead of C, I say B. Because this is a building. Let's see. So it's not C, it's B. Okay. Sorry. Likewise, this is B, this is B. Okay. And that's it. I mean, because otherwise, Oh no, I haven't accounted for it being in between the two. Right. So this is handling the caps and the ends and actually doing distance. But I mean, I effectively want to say if you are between the two caps, then you stay 0. I don't want to make this like condition longer, but really it's all one condition. If you're not in between the caps and this or that, right? That's kind of what I need to say. Meh, I don't mind. Oh, no, I don't need to say that at all. It is a distance of 0 and you're taking damage. It assumes you're going to take damage. But if you are to the left of the left cap or to the right of the right cap, then I'll calculate distance and you might be out of the range. Done. Okay, so this is done, actually. Cool. And the gang. Awesome. All right, so this should be painful. Let me throw an opponent character on there. Actually, it doesn't matter if it's an opponent or not. Fire does not discriminate. Meaning, if you cast this spell and it's your troops over there, dude, you just killed your troops. I mean, maybe you want to do that. Who knows? I don't know. But let's go ahead and throw dude over here. Let's throw another dude over here. Okay. Let's make these guys player 2. And so this is the setup. Okay. Our wizard casts the spell. Oh my, it's ominous. Oh, it's crazy. And then the dragon comes in. Oh, it's death. It's instant death. It's a lot of death. In fact, it's going to be really destroying the barricades too. It's going to be taking barricades out. In fact, let me try a barricade actually. Now that I'm talking about it, let's do it. Buildings. Buildings? Why was this moved? What? Bro, how did that happen? Let's put the barricade here. This is... buildings. Okay. Oh, it's not built. Shoot. That's right, we need... Okay, let's get... when I have these things, when I have these features in, that's great, except when you actually want to test things and you don't have the cheat codes to make that cheat happen easily. Yeah. I actually need an engineer to build a barricade. I actually need to give this player gold so we can buy the barricade. Yeah, I actually need to do that. Right. So, giving you gold. Oh shoot! How do I get him to build a barricade? I have a cheat code for player 1 to do that. Alright, tell you what, just run as a bot player and just see if we get lucky. Character Archer locked. Oh, for real. This game is not properly initialized. Because I'm not connected to Twitch. That's on purpose. I want to be connected to Twitch. It's this. Concerned about Twitch. Please just go. Try to get. Okay. So I will start up the game. I will give this player gold. Yeah, tons of gold. Go to town. And you have some troops already, so. Of course, I'm going to need some help, actually. Yes. Sorry, I'm just trying to test, you know. What was it testing? Oh, that's right. Seriously, I want to see if I can take out a barricade as well. And I'm not sure how easy that's going to be. Do I actually need to play the game? Trying to just test. I don't want to play the game. See how far we can get with this, because I have a feeling it's kind of we're just gonna get lucky if we can get what we want here. But oh my god, that wizard had other plans. The wizard cast a different spell. It was the AI bot all on its own. Just yeah. Okay. Well, you know, we tried. How silly. How totally silly. All right. Well, you know. Oh my gosh, the wizard really wants to cast this. Maybe I've like overclocked the meteor storm. I should get it to try and cast the dragons. Get Dragon Strike. Okay, cast Tree Shield instead. Kind of fun. But useless because I want to test the Dragonfire stuff. So okay, it's fine. What we did was we implemented damage on the Dragonfire that is laid on the ground, and that looks good to me. It does do that thing, and yeah, we put it in the spell, the schedule of this spell, so that it does effectively spawn the Dragonfire on the floor when it needs to, and that's cool. We'll show it one more time. Oop. And what the heck? I did this before too. Just turn it white. It's not supposed to be white. You know, I'll go gray. actually, yeah, let's go white. We'll cast this and show off the two pieces that we have. One is the dragon in the background. And the other is the dragonfire that strays. So we have two pieces of this spell put together. The big stuff has to come next. What we have left to do is a big dragon and dragon breath, and that's a lot. And this wizard is jumping out into the front. Dude, what are you doing? You're gonna die. Hey, take damage, dude. How come you're not taking damage? Okay, you're taking damage. Hold up. Did he not take damage because he was in the middle? Good question. Let's test this a few times. Here's a couple of marauders. Maybe they'll come out. Maybe not. If they are in between the caps, so they're too far away from the caps right now. There they go. They take a ton of damage. Okay, dude's in the middle. So funny. I don't think this wizard is actually, yeah, he's not counted as one side or the other. He's not on any team. Let's change that just for laughs, but the real issue is the damage. Clearly, we have not done that correctly yet. Oh, right. That's right. We are, for the fire, fire can be up in a tower, fire can be down on the ground, and so we actually do a distance to the character, and we actually account for the fact that the character is on the low end of the sprite. The sprite is square, and the character is actually on the bottom. So I do a little offset. I don't do that here, which means characters that are up in a tower are definitely going to take damage, even if they're up in a tower. I guess... if this is more than -4, then they don't. I think that's fair. This means they're up in the tower. Fair. But else, so this distance is 0, and they are on the ground. And so if their position is less than the left side or more than the right side, then the distance is now not 0, but the lesser of these two numbers. I mean, I guess I could split this up. Actually, that might help me here. Here's what I'm thinking. If it's less than the cap on the left, we want to know the distance to the cap on the left. If it's more than cap on the right, we want to know the distance to the cap on the right. So we're either skipping them or we're adjusting the distance, or the distance is 0. Because it is not less than this, and it is not more than that. So that means they're in between the two caps, right? Must be. As long as they're not dead. That distance is less than, like 0 or something, less than damage distance. I mean, this really should be taking damage, right? Let's test this again because now I'm paranoid. Did we actually find... And I should probably log at the same time just to make sure. So I want to know... Okay. I want to know characters took damage. Let's check it out. That wizard should be walking off. Seems like we cast a spell. He's on cooldown. Okay, there's fire. They are not taking damage. Let's look. That's why I logged. So, player 1, distance is a lot. There's no characters with the distance of 0. Well, they really should be. Player 2 Marauder, Player 2 Marauder. These two are definitely in the middle. According to the log, they are fine. That's garbage. That's garbage. That's not true. Well, 2 from the cap, sure. So, clearly that did not work. This calculated a distance. Is it less than... Tell you what. I didn't think I needed to do this, but let's do it. If the character position X is greater than or equal to the cap on the left and the same character is less than or equal to the cap on the right. I mean, this means dist equals 0. Done. Like, it can't be anything else. So now, do this again. Burn up some marauders, please. I mean, there's no guarantee what the bots are going to do right now, but they usually spawn a couple of marauders, and they usually begin to pull out. Let's hope that's true. If not, we'll do it again. I guess we'll do it again. There we go. What happened? Where's the fire? Where's the fire? Where's the fire? Is it just not here yet? What's up? Did we not cast Dragon Strike? What? Didn't do anything different. This is running. I say stop. Let's do this. Go. Once that object is spawned with our script on it, it should be looking to do damage. So there's a schedule for the spell. The spell has a little timer, and then it spawned. There it is. Oh, they're all taking damage. That's what I'm talking about. And it might be a lot of damage. Might be too much. You know, could be. Might be a lot, but it's Dragonfire. Come on. Okay, so they take damage. I would love to also test that barricade takes damage, but I'm pretty sure it does. This actually means I need to do the same thing here. As long as this is not the tree or the mine or the flag, and as long as this is not a tower, yeah, this is never going to happen. So this needs to say, in all these cases, mine, flag, tree, and tower are immune. This is because the fire's on the floor. The tower's made of stone on the floor, so it's good. In fact, I should just do this. up here. Yeah. Okay. Cool. So what we did was we made Dragon Fire as a swath of fire that blankets the floor when the wizard casts a Dragon Strike spell. First thing is we see the silhouette of the dragon cruise across the screen. Ominous, subtle. A pause, and it's intentionally long so that the big dragon coming in is surprised, dramatic, it's big. And yeah. Well, they all took exactly the same damage, really? Okay. I mean, that's not terrible. Wait, dude. Seems aggressive. Oh, meanwhile, they dude cast a gold theft. So, okay. Is that true? They all take the same damage? Or does each character... No, each character has its own. Okay, good. Okay, good. Cool. So, the fire that grows along the floor, that was a trick. It took not just the artwork, but the technical art to make this happen. And so I did the art off stream, but I showed off the construction of this prefab that can do that here on screen. And it's cool. It's made of 2 caps and a mid piece, and it's made to just strafe all on its own. And it's fun. Oh, hey, thanks. Okay, there's fire. There's lots of fire. And it's cool. I'm down with this. I think we have we have half of this big spell done. And we need a big dragon and some other parts to complete this big spell called Dragon Strike. The only other spell I have is called Ice Wave. And that's gonna be another technical challenge along with the artwork. The art's not really that hard. I'm actually wondering how far I can get by just tinting every character and building blue. Could be part of it. I don't know. We'll have to see. But if I get those spells done, I don't know. I think I kind of finished. And we can playtest and playtest and playtest, and I can tune after I get good feedback from humans. Then we can call this thing done. Process we want to take is careful, deliberate, and always focused on what's going to be good for the player. Of course. So I was able to show you a little bit of the technical setup of artwork, in other words, tech art. A technical director is sometimes the title given to somebody who does this kind of work. They are not a director. A technical director does direct the technical implementation of things, and it's often art. And so there's a little bit of programming involved. There's definitely a good knowledge of the game engine, but you must know the art and how the art should look and how it should be applied. So there is a crossover between art and code. A technical artist must know this was a good example of that. This was a technical challenge as much as it was an art task. And so it was a good thing to show. Hey, if you're wondering what the heck's going on, there's this cartoon ape making a game for chat. This game is for chat. Like literally, I can open the queue and you can play. You just say Q, Command Q, and you can play. The bots will play against you, or other humans. It's a 2-player game. It's made for chat. You get your forces to attack, or retreat, or hold. You can recruit marauders, archers. You can recruit an engineer and build barricades or towers. It's madness. If you do show up on stream, please use Command Tie. That way I will pay attention to you. So follow, like, subscribe, retweet. Do whatever you need to do to show up on stream. Until then, have fun, do well, be good, stay safe. See ya.